This is Mrs. Boykin. Today we're going to talk about solving absolute value equations. Let's begin with our first problem. We have negative 10 plus the absolute value of negative 5m plus 9 equals a negative 9. We need to start out by isolating the absolute value portion of the equation. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. This cancels out. We get the absolute value of a negative 5m plus 9 equals positive 1. At this point, we've isolated the absolute value. We can now drop the bars, set up two equations with the word or in between. So our first equation, we write it as is, except for the absolute value bars are dropped. The second equation, we write the absolute value portion as is. Now we're going to negate the opposite side. So we're going to change that positive 1 into a negative 1. I can now solve two equations. I can subtract 9 from both sides. And I get a negative 5m equals a negative 8. Solving for m, I get m equals a positive 8/5. Don't forget, negative divided by negative is a positive. Over here, we're going to solve this side as well. Again, subtracting 9 from both sides. We get a negative 5m equals a negative 10, dividing by the negative 5 both sides, and m equals a positive 2. So my two solutions are m equals 8/5 or m equals positive 2. And it's solved. Let's take a look at the next problem. We have negative 1 minus absolute value of 2 plus 9n equals 69. We're going to start out again by isolating our absolute value. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. Now don't forget, when we cancel this out, this is a negative, so we can't forget it. So now, if we need to get rid of the negative sign in front, think of that as a negative 1 that's being multiplied by your absolute value. So the opposite would be to divide by negative 1. And what you do to one side, we do to the other. Cancels out. We then get the absolute value of 2 plus 9n equals I was about to add that, wasn't I? Negative 70. Okay, because 70 divided by a negative 1 is a negative 70. Now I want you to stop and pause at this point and see if this makes sense. What did we say when we take an absolute value of any number? The result is always what? Positive. So in this case here, there's nothing that we could put in place of n and then take the absolute value of it that would ever result in a negative number. So this is a special case, and so therefore our answer would be no solution. You cannot take an absolute value of any number and have a negative outcome. So that would be the solution for problem number 2 here. Let's take a look at our next problem. We have the absolute value of 3b minus 1 divided by 2 equals 3. A little bit different because this time we have a division problem or a fraction problem. So we need to start out by once again isolating this absolute value portion. Anything that's being divided, the opposite operation is to multiply, and what you do to one side you do to the other. The 2's then cancel, and you get the absolute value of 3b minus 1 equals 6. Once I have the absolute value symbol isolated, I can then write my two equations, dropping the absolute value sign. I keep it as is. And the other equation, I negate the other side. Okay, let's go ahead and solve. Adding 1 to both sides, I get 3b equals 7. Dividing by 3, b equals 7/3. Or my second solution, adding 1, -5, dividing by 3, b equals a -5/3. And there we have our two solutions. If you need to review this video again, just rewind it. You can pause it at any time. And of course, if you're still having trouble, please come to Cab Morning or ask to see me after school. Thank you so much. See you later.